Hello all, I'm King John, you're you, and you're pretty awesome. A little while ago I put out a video about President Trump and what I think his chances are of ending the Ukraine war. I said no one can say for certain whether he can do it or not, but I said I thought he had a good chance of it. He's got a good track record in diplomacy, and both sides have very strong motivations to want to end the war. I meant to make a follow-up video about that, but then I came down as sick as a dog. I'm still a little sick, but I feel well enough to put out a video, so here we are. Now, to bring Ukraine and Putin specifically, I don't say Russia because it's the dictator, he's all there is. To bring Ukraine and Putin to actually negotiating a peace treaty, Trump will need to make promises and threats to both sides. Now, Ukraine is fairly simple. He needs to promise them guarantees of their security, military aid, and threats to withdraw military aid and make no promises of their security to get them to make compromises and concessions to Putin. That seems simple enough. Vladimir Zelensky met with Donald Trump while he was still campaigning, and he came away apparently very satisfied and looking forward to Donald Trump as president. So I'm sure that's not going to be a problem for President Trump in any negotiations. The other side, however, is a lot more complicated because, well, for a lot of reasons. The first obvious thing is there's an awful lot we don't know about the inside of the Kremlin. Now, the things that we do know are also pretty complicated. We know that Russians' relations with their allies are, again, complicated. Putin's Russia is very dependent on China, for example, and China has profited a great deal from the war in Ukraine. To the point that very large parts of Russia's economy are dependent on China. So if Xi Jinping puts pressure on Putin to continue the war, depending on the exact situation, it could be very hard for Putin to resist that pressure. Then there's Russia's economy. Now, some people, fools, have been very impressed at Russia's economy and have believed every single lie put out by the Kremlin about how Russia's economy is doing well and I forget the word. I'm tired and still pretty sick. Anyway, Russia's economy is not doing well. It seems well, largely because the Russian government is lying about it, and also in large part because of Russia's war economy. If you have a war economy, GDP goes up. It's not all GDP is equal. It's bad GDP. It's empty GDP. You build a tank, it goes off, it gets destroyed. That does no one no good. Economically, I mean. So Russia's war economy has grown a huge amount. Huge parts of Russia are now dependent on the war. Obviously, the circumstances of the country changed and the economy changed accordingly. So the military-industrial complex is the largest employer in the country. Very large parts of the country's populace are dependent on money from soldiers fighting in the war, from sign-up bonuses and so forth. That is driving a very large part of Russia's economy right now. So if you end the war, it could bring the entire country down. So Putin might want to end the war, but not be able to for fear of that happening. Again, it depends on the exact circumstances. There's a lot I don't know. And there's one other thing, and that is Putin's image, because his power depends on his image. on his image as a strong man who never loses. And he spent a very long time propagandizing that idea to the Russian people. If he caves in and he doesn't get some very good deal that he can sell to the Russian people as a victory, that could end him. And rather than risk that, he will continue the war. So, like I said, I think Trump has a pretty good chance of ending the Ukraine war. Not on his first day, like he's said he can. That's never going to happen. But I think he has a pretty good chance of doing it eventually. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. And, well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a lovely day.